Hi folks, welcome back to the Horde. So, I don't know, could you guys see that? In the sun, it's about 42 degrees. That's why I like working in this garage. Look at that, my battery's charged. You see the little green light there, my energizer. Right, the solar cells are doing what they're supposed to be doing. It's just shy of 3 o'clock. It is the 15th of January, Tuesday. This is -1 Celsius. I just opened up the door and this is on the cold side, so that might be why it's not quite warmed up yet. I normally don't do Thursday videos because I work Thursday night. I worked last night and I got to work tonight. But it's what I call my short week. I work 2 11-hour nights. So I woke up and I figured while I was awake I'd open up an eBay package and kind of tell you guys what's going on. So I went into work last night and everybody's going, "Where's Gary? Where's Gary? We can't find Gary." And that's how the night woke up. Gary's one of my engineering techs. He's one of those people who keeps product moving along. If a tool for some reason stops in the middle of producing product, he's the guy who rewrites the recipe. So if it was supposed to process this long and it processed this long, he writes a recipe so it finishes processing and the job is complete, right? That particular process step is complete. He also interprets specs and so forth like that. Anyway, Gary didn't come into work last night, and he won't be coming into work anymore. Gary has diabetes, or had diabetes, and he lost control of it. So he didn't come into work. My boss sent somebody to his, I'm going to call it house. He's renting the downstairs in a house. And they sent somebody to check on him. And Gary was cold. His new puppy was lying alongside of him, thinking they were both just taking a nap. But Gary wasn't going to wake up. Yeah, Gary kind of lost control of his diabetes. Part of it was Gary claimed not to have the money to buy the necessary insulin, so he was doing something known to him as conserving insulin. He went from about, I don't know, 230 pounds. He's a pretty tall guy, you know, over 6 foot tall. He went from about 230 pounds to about 150 pounds. So a bunch of us were telling him, "Yo, what are you doing? Are you taking care of yourself and all that?" And yeah, I'm fine. You know, this has been going on since a little after Thanksgiving. He lost all that weight, and you know, when I talked to him, he seemed dreamy, but, you know, I'm fine, leave me alone, I'm fine. Anyway, I guess I'm no expert on diabetes. What I can tell you is that working night shift is hell if you're a diabetic. Working night shift is one of those risk factors for diabetes. If you don't have it, you can find yourself with it by working night shift. But he has an identical twin brother, egg broke in half. So once again, identical twin brother. I've seen pictures of the two of them. And his brother has diabetes also. So it's a genetic thing. I guess it would be considered type 1. But anyway, Gary didn't take care of himself and he passed. So when the person who went to check on him, you know, called my boss back and said, "Oh, Gary's here, but he appears to be cold. My boss had to go over, identify the body. You know, the police were there, right? Somebody dies. It's a crime scene until they figure out what transpired. Somebody had to go and get his puppy, bring it elsewhere. I'm not quite sure why I'm going through this story, especially to YouTube. He just wasn't careful. He knew he had diabetes, right? He was taking insulin. His identical twin had diabetes. And he knew, I mean, you know, Gary knew how to read. He was college educated. He knew that he should take care of it better than he was taking care of it. You know, the stories are that he didn't have much money. I mean, you know, he got paid pretty well, and he was able to work overtime, so there was really no shortage of money. But he didn't have much money because he liked to send it to girls he met on the internet. Gary was 35, 37, something like that. He would meet young ladies on the internet who would tell him sad stories. The ones I'm told he corresponded with were from the Philippines. So they would tell him sad stories, and he would send them money. And then he didn't have enough money for his insulin. I don't know. I guess there's ways to look at it. That he was helping people that needed help, and he died doing it. That's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it, whilst he was doing that stuff, he leaves behind his twin brother, his sister, his family, friends, work friends. I don't know. Don't quite know what to make of it. Anyhow, eBay deal. That's why I brought you guys out here, and I might as well give you guys something worthwhile other than sad stories. You guys know I'm always on the hunt for 200S parts because it's what I do. And this was an eBay deal, basically a full top end, right? You can see the various parts. I mean, came with all the nuts and bolts. Came with the cover, the ignition, the little rotors in there. I didn't check to see if the rotor was taken apart and put back together upside down. That's something I'll do. So that's all in there. Here's the cylinder bore. Somebody was good enough to wonk the hell out of that. And it's got some damage in here too. Not quite sure what the hell they were doing. Anyway, the story on this is, I think you guys could see that the piston rusted in place. I guess they let it sit around and it got rusty in there. So it came with the piston, the bore, the rockers, and the top piece. You can see the hardware, right? So it came with all that. Came with the cam. Cam has a little wear on it. You can see the lobe's a little worn. I don't know what the hell they did to that key area right there. I don't know. Could you guys see that? I don't know if they tried to put a wrench on this and turn it over or what they did. The thing isn't broken off, so I'm not sure if that cam's any good. This piece is good. The cam is debatable. The piston, maybe. This, I don't know. I could put a hone through it and see what happens. You know, the hardware is always handy. Always, always handy, right? Whenever you could get your hot little hands on hardware, you always take it, because you can always be that one bolt away from putting an engine together. And now the reason why I bought it, it was $25 shipping, came out of Florida. These pieces here alone are probably worth the $50. But it also came with a good head. You can see it's got both sides. It's got the manifold on it. Right, this is all good. These aren't overly worn down. That's not all scarred up. Valves look good. They're not recessed. Right. Oh, this might. It's got a little crack there. Doesn't appear to go through. But so this was a $50 eBay deal. And once again, this alone was worth the $50, considering everything's there, including the cover, the gear, all the hardware, the rotor with the advance, the CDI piece. I mean, once again, I'm assuming all of it's good. I haven't checked it out yet. This is all good, which is nice. The cam, debatable. That little pin is there. They're always handy to get your hot little hands on. Once again, the bore. I don't know. Wouldn't probably be my first choice. If I was just putting together a rat engine for something, maybe that could probably be, gently tapped out. The piston does appear to be good. I don't know. It looks. I'm having trouble seeing. These. I have a retainer on that side, and I don't think I have a retainer on this side. So there we have it. $50 eBay deal. Generally speaking, I like when I buy parts or bikes or anything of this sort, I typically like to get things half price. It just makes it easier to have a hobby when you're not paying full price for everything. When it comes to an engine components point of view, or the way I deal with engines, I normally will not tear apart a complete engine for parts. Even if I know the engine is no good, it's seized, rust seized or whatever. I have one of those. Actually, I have two of those. One's from Hurricane Sandy. But even with that, I don't tear the engine apart unless I plan on doing something with the engine itself. As a matter of fact, the Hurricane Sandy engine, I could probably clean this up, clean the piston up, and probably slam that into it. Depending on what shape the bore looks like, depends how easy the piston comes out. I could probably even use some of the components to get that engine running. Not sure where that engine is hiding, as a matter of fact. So to me, like Megan Teeter says, all about the beat. To me, it's all about the parts. It's all about having enough spares to keep these rats running. All right, folks. So I got to squeeze out another 11-hour night. Hopefully, it'll be quieter. We won't have any more of this high drama. Hopefully, everybody takes care of themselves and gets in one piece and so forth. Guys, remember to keep your feet down. Keep your head up. If you have something wrong with you, if you need to take your insulin or your whatever medications they are for happiness or sadness or whatever medicines a doctor prescribes, work with him and take your medicines. There's no reason leaving people behind to grieve you when you don't have to be gone, right? Gary does not have to be gone, but he is, because he didn't take proper care of himself. So folks, take care of yourselves, please. Thanks for watching, commenting, and subscribing, and go out and enjoy your days. Make sure you go to eBay and buy something you don't need to add to your hoard. Fix up a Volkswagen three-wheeler, if that's what turns you on, or fix up your son's Pontiac. Go out there and do something. Enjoy your time. You don't know how much you're going to get, so make sure you enjoy your day. Bye now.